Here's our DR recap for today. Hope everybody's having a great day and a great night. Um, Again, it won't take us long, but today was a kind of a fun day if you were a DR person. And what I mean by that is that, this was a scalping kind of day, right? So the range of the entire move was around 30 points. DR was about 25 points roughly, right? So not a whole lot of movement in here, but let's go through it. So, DR confirmed high pretty early on after 10:30, and then again, what we expect is DR to come back down or come back down below IDR, and then what happened, and this is a trade. I think I did put this in the Discord of this trade that I took, this first trade, because when it came down, this light gray line, which is our zero point 0.5 fib, also again notice this blue line, that's my midnight open. I put on the chart every day. It's a very important line. As you can see, price kind of stuck around that today as well. But once price came down below the 0.5 fib, so I started taking a look and said, okay, it did it once. It did it, it came down again and went back up. And then on this third red candle here, I actually said, okay, let me put my order in at the DR at the zero point 0.5 fib, right? So that's where I had my order. And if you notice, I took a little bit of heat on this one. My stop was down here below the IDR low, and so this is roughly around a 5 point stop loss here. So got a little heat. I wasn't even paying attention to it. I was in meetings today, so I set my order. I set my sell here at the IDR high because it was such a small range. I wasn't expecting it to, jump out of the gym, so to speak. So order set in here at the zero point 0.5 fib, and then my take profit was up here at the IDR high. And so if I was looking at this, I probably would have, managed just a little bit differently. But anyway, long story short, came up and after the drawdown, came back up, and then my take profit was hit here. So that was about 7 points, I believe. And then the again price starts coming down again. So it's at IDR high, comes down again, and this was my second trade. So once it came down here, it went down below the IDR low, and so my order was set right here at the IDR low, right, for it to come back up and pick me up. And so that's what it did. Came back in, and this was 39.85, and then I ran this up. Again, I did use my, this was 15 points basically. So I ran this up and, moved my stop up every, 5 points each. So by the time it got up here, the thing I noticed was this was a relatively equal high. And so normally when that happens, price is going to reverse. So I didn't want to take any chances. Took the trade off here. Okay. So again, two trades, with that 22 points roughly on these. Did not take any of this because again, the DR had confirmed high, right? So I wasn't worried. I wasn't trying to get down into here. Now, one thing I did notice, and I think I talked about this as well in the Discord, is this was kind of that setup, right, of trying to get down into a DR low with the retirement setup. And as you can see, it tried it once, and then it came back up. This was actually a sell side liquidity, this red line, all right? And I'll say it again, like I say every night. Remember, one time you hit sell side or buy side, price is going to reverse normally 5 to 10 points. Did that here, okay? Did the first time it did sell side on that side, etc. So anyway, so we know about that, approach right now. So when price came back down, it went up to, notice where it went up to midnight, and then it reversed and came all the way back down. And so I actually was sitting here going like, I'm not going to take this trade for a retirement setup because this was a 10-point stop loss, and I don't do 10-point stop losses. 5 is probably my limit of what I would do. And so kind of watched the price, and then it came back up. Notice what it came back up to. Came back up to IDR low, and then reversed again. Almost got back down to DR low, and then it took off for the rest of the afternoon. At this point, I'm in the car on my way to treatment, so I don't really see these. I don't really mess with these too much. Uh, but couple things to notice on the DR plan today. We had DR high confirm, and then in the afternoon we had DR low confirm. So this will be considered a false day for DR. But there are opportunities in here before it, kind of invalidated itself to make some profit. So anybody took them these trades, hopefully that worked out well for you. Like I know Angela said she took some of the trade on the way down, so I think that was a great move for her as well. Um, and I just want to spend a minute talking about kind of why I like DR so much. I like ICT, but ICT requires me to actually have to be able to look at the screen a lot. And I'm in my office Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I leave at 3:30 to go to treatment, so I don't really have a lot of time. Like I gotta cram a full day into 6 hours, and so I'm always in meetings. Matter of fact, the first trade I took today, I was actually in a meeting, and I just kept nodding my head, while I'm looking on the side of the desk to get my trade in, manage the trade. So so I like the fact that what I could do in the morning once DR sets up, I actually go in and just put alerts in 5 places, right? I talked about this a little bit before, but that IDR high, the DR high alert, IDR high alert, zero point 0.5 fib alert, IDR low alert, and then DR low. I'm sorry, DR low way down here. See how far away it is? That's way too far. So DR low, I set an alert, and so I don't have to watch this as much because the other thing I do is I don't try to get in at the exact bottom. So when it came here and went down below IDR low, if I was able to watch this a lot, I'd actually probably just try to get in here because I know it's going to come back up. But so what I do, I just set my orders at those 5 spots, right? So I might lose a point or two here, but I feel safer because I know that at this point the momentum is already moving back up, right? So when I get in here, I can ride this up again. That's 15 points based on how I actually manage the trade. So I'd gotten a question about this at some point about kind of why I trade where I trade. So I just wanted to kind of clear that up for some folks. Same thing here. Like if you notice this first trade, again, came down below that 0.5 fib. That's one of my trigger points. So when I put this order in, I put it, price was down here, and I put the order right at the 0.5 fib. And so, again, got picked up, had a little bit of a drawdown, didn't take me out, all right, which is what's the important part. And then it just kept running up to that IDR high. So really a good day. Again, 22 points. Didn't trade any of this stuff over here, which I'm okay with. I can live with that, no problem at all. All right, so hopefully this helps, and if you guys have questions, just let me know. The other thing that's important, last thing I'll just say is, make sure you're marking out 3 things, right? Sell side liquidity, buy side liquidity, and your midnight open, because that really helps you to kind of frame what's happening in DR. At least it does for me, and so I can actually figure out, okay, here's what should happen, right? And so now I can know I feel a little more confident taking some of these trades. All right. Again, hopefully that helps, and you guys have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.